Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam. It is November the 12th, 2019. The scene may or may not take place after the upcoming werewolf plot scene tonight. Um, this evening, we have a social between Alvaro and Ekta taking place at the Buzz. And we'll start off here.
Okay. Well, Ekta's just gonna come into the bar, or not the bar, but the cafe, grab a much needed cup of coffee, and take a seat and wait patiently because she's not seeing Alvaro just yet.
About a couple minutes later, he'll walk in wearing the more or less the same clothing. He'll spot her and saunter on over and sit down. Good afternoon. How are you?
Tired. What about you?
About the same. It was an interesting evening. So you're here, so things went well.
Yeah. Miranda's a bit of a chatterbox.
I noticed.
She decided she was going to walk up to one of the people who was at the club serving, or at the party serving, and ask, basically make the statement, I know you're not mortal. You're not like everyone around here. What are you? I mean, just outright. I was afraid that they were going to kidnap her. Because next thing I know, there's like a whole group of people just walking up.
He looks a little flabbergasted. How did you escape then?
They were kind enough to call us a cab, saying that we were highly drunk.
Oh, the people walking up did.
Yes, they were kind enough to call us a cab. And they took her home, and then it took me not all the way home, but home.
He nods. Any ideas on who they might have been?
She believes that they were Guru, I believe. She said that their aura was extremely bright.
What did they look like?
Well, one of them was the gentleman, buying everyone's drinks last night.
He pulls open a book and starts writing.
And he was the host of the party, and then the rest of them were the people that worked there, that were helping him throw the party. But yeah, I got afraid that they were going to just...
Do you have anyone in the city you can call when such things occur?
I've made maybe one contact here that I might be able to call.
The men you mentioned?
No, not the Tafini. No. He's the head of the chantry. He actually offered me a place there.
It is safe?
Hmm?
It will be safe?
Yes. Part of the reason why I didn't want to go all the way home is because I don't live alone anymore.
So you took him up on the offer then?
Yeah. It was closer. It was closer to the hospice facility. I've got maybe about 20 beds. They typically don't stay. I typically don't admit people into those beds unless I just cannot control their pain. And with the opioid crisis going on and everybody using things that they really shouldn't, Sometimes morphine isn't strong enough, and I have to bring them in. And sometimes it's just people who have nowhere else to go. They have no family. They have nothing. And so I'd rather have them in the hospital rather than in a home where there's nobody, because nobody deserves to die alone.
It's very kind of you.
It's what I do.
So this person you live with, do you think you could call him if you need such assistance?
I believe I could. I believe I could. I would rather, though, not bother him.
Why?
Hmm?
Why?
I don't like being a bother to people. I really don't.
Well, if he took you in, he's accepting some level of responsibility.
Well, responsibility might be a bit strong of a word. Akalis has been here a lot longer. He has been. Sometimes I worry about that friar. The one who had his nose broke.
I'm not familiar.
A little while back, actually the first time that I ever met any of the supernaturals here in Amsterdam, we had a gathering of mages, and there was a some kind of a Knights Templar who just barged in out of nowhere and just broke a friar's nose. Claiming that, he was a heretic, that he was, consorting with essentially the devil, and forbade us from going on to any of his churches, removed the church that was his home from him. And he had let's see, I believe I know his name. His name's on the tip of my tongue. His name is on the tip of my tongue. I believe it starts with a T. No, not a T. Ilmari.
I don't think I've met him.
Yeah, Ilmari took him in.
So they broke this friar's nose and
Yes,
said he was consorting with the devil?
that's what it initially amounted to. Yeah. That was the night that I met Z, the Tafini, the
One with fire and...
yes, with fire. So I don't really know you all that well. I feel like I'm, opening up a bit more than I normally do.
Well, I'm a traveler. I live from Situa, Spain, Northern Africa. Travel back and forth from there to Europe, through Europe, then to France, Germany. Made my way here.
How long do you think you'll stay here?
I've made some friends here. Not sure. Depends on if I can convince myself to stay. I have trouble staying in one place often.
Got a bit of wanderlust, do you?
Mm-hmm. There's always more to see, more to do.
Do you not miss the people that you meet?
I do. but my travels often take me back that way. Um, there's not too much to tell. Do what I can where I go.
So how is the work at the bookstore coming?
It was a long night. You had to. You wanted to look over new ideas, new placement for the shelves. So it was a long night.
I have many of them.
Are you a? I didn't ask. Are you a doctor or a nurse or?
No, I'm a palliative care physician.
Not familiar with the term.
Palliative care, it's basically whenever the end result is to make someone as comfortable as possible.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Do you? So is the same? I assume it's the same level as a.
Oh,
It
yes.
must be higher than a nurse.
Well, it's the same level as any other physician.
I see. Okay.
You go to medical school, you do your, third year rounds, your third year rotation, and then after that you decide where you want to be. And you go into residency, and your residency actually tells you whether or not you may go into internal medicine, you may go into nephrology, you may go into palliative care, you may go into family medicine, gynecology. I mean, take your pick.
What drew you to hospice?
Because there's a rightness to it. We no longer tend to our dying. And I believe that it is that this death denial further ingrains the us versus them. Because we've got all these failed hero systems, and we don't really understand that all of our fates are ultimately the same. So whenever we deny that we are mortal, we take away the meaning of life. I mean, take a look around us. Everything's pushing anti-aging creams, and it's like the youth and beauty is the end all, the be all. But there's beauty in growing older. And there's beauty in giving someone as easy of a passing as it can be. There's a rightness to it. In order for us to have births, there must be deaths. The souls need to be recycled. Everything in its own time, everything in its own turn of the wheel.
Is that a I don't mean to assume. I've heard the term used a few times in a few different religions. Buddhism, I think, and I think Hinduism covers that.
As does Sikhism, yes. As does Sikhi.
I'm not very familiar.
We are the 5th largest religion in the world.
So I should be semi-familiar, but I'm not.
It's fine. It's fine. It's mostly concentrated in Punjab, which is where I'm from. It's where I grew up.
Very different from here.
Not really. A little less crowded. Or, excuse me, a little more crowded. America was a culture shock.
I've yet to be in be there, but I've heard good things.
I did my residency there, and then I came here.
Why here over there?
Maybe I have a little wanderlust myself.
So did you settle right here after leaving, or do you?
I did.
Oh, so you did not get to see any of Europe before you came here.
No,
Well, if you get a chance, I recommend going at least and seeing the Eiffel Tower at night. It's
that sounds
beautiful.
lovely. That sounds like that would be lovely.
It is very nice. Um, we
So
were
what?
talking. Go ahead. Sorry.
So what's keeping you? You said that a friend interested you in Egyptian gods.
Yes.
Is that the only reason you're studying it?
Well, I'm interested in maybe one day meeting this god, um, but he is fairly devout, and he's one of the only people I know that actually follows it. I'm sure plenty do, but yeah, they don't go advertising such things.
Oh goodness, no.
But he might be. I could tell him to contact you. He's also a practitioner,
Mm.
so he might be helpful there. And you're more than welcome to call me if you need something, and I can see what I can do.
Well, same here. I don't know what you would need me for, but
Well, if I ever need medical attention, um, but we were speaking of the 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 race.
yes, yes.
How does that fit in with the cycle then?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Normally, a spirit or a wraith will move on to its next life. What hangs them up?
Varies, I think.
And is there a way for me to help bring the closure that they need to help them move past it and return to the cycle?
What I have noted is that they are still very much like people. They have something undone or something they want done, and it may be skewed to what they believe.
Yes, but that's true of everyone.
Hmm. So I think the key is just finishing for them, finishing something. It can vary from telling a loved one they miss them or where something was to killing the ex-boyfriend who killed them.
Well, sometimes in order to heal, one must hurt.
Have you ever seen any?
No, no, not yet. I'm hoping to. Most of what I see are lines of outcomes. Um, Potential fates, patterns, and what breaks them.
but you would like to see them.
I would like to make sure that for as much as I can, that I can tend to them the way that I tend to my patients.
He nods. Some of them are as your patients might be. Others not so much, so you will need to be careful on which ones you speak with.
Duly noted.
Um,
Just like with humans.
mhm. Except possibly more dangerous.
Yes, I can see that.
Um, I can look into something for you on that end. And then when you wish to see them, I will go with you.
I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that a great deal.
You can do that. Pulls out and lights a cigarette.
You know those things really are going to harm you one of these days.
I might as well enjoy it while I have it. My new friend here doesn't like me smoking around her.
Well, it's not that I mind. It's that,
Oh, this is a different woman. Um,
oh,
Friend I'm helping here. She doesn't like when I smoke around her, so
ah,
I've tried to limit that, and I have a 10-year habit.
ooh.
Um,
So, so is this someone special or is it
oh,
friendly or is it
friendly.
friendly?
It's not something romantic or intimate, if that's where you were going with that.
Got it.
Yeah, but the ghost. If you like, I can set up a meeting with my friend that I traveled here with, the one that's also a practitioner, and he'll talk to you at the very least. I don't know how forthcoming he'll be with anything, but sure he'll be happy to have somebody he know or somebody to know here.
Well, the feeling's mutual.
Um,
I fear that sometimes with the hours that I keep, that it can get a little bit overwhelming.
what kind of music do you like?
Music? I enjoy classical, more specifically Baroque.
Is the
Um,
more poppy of the
it's the
Vivaldi?
more, it's the more, well, yeah, Vivaldi. Think really ornate. It's really ornate. It has lots of turns, lots of trills. It is very structured, but very. Sometimes it feels like you're walking through a building.
It suits you. You have a very put together nature. The music makes sense.
It can be calming.
Do you like jazz or blues?
I do. I like the complexity.
Okay. I perform here, so I make my way
Ah,
um, now and then. Um, I can message you with my next thing if you'd like to come and see.
that would be amazing. Um, so you're a
Okay.
busker.
Yes, I play the sax.
Nice.
Um, it's nothing special, but the offer's there. I can buy you a soda or an Italian soda.
I would appreciate that.
Now, on that, is the no drinking, no indulging, is that part of your religion or is it a personal?
It actually is. We don't smoke, we don't drink, we don't, you know, we don't believe in a caste system.
Is that normal for the Hindu religion?
The caste system is very Hindu. Um, it's part of the reason for the turbans. At one point in time, uh, only princes and sultans and kings were allowed turbans. It was their crown. Um, my middle name, Kar, actually means princess. And whenever one um, enters into the Khalsa, um, they,
Do you what?
the Khalsa, the pure ones,
Ah,
the ones who are committed to this path, at least religiously. We are basically saying that we are all equal and that we are all princes and princesses in God.
are the deities the same?
No, there is but one God, and He is everywhere. He is in all things.
So it is closer to Catholicism or Islam in that sense?
Catholicism and Islam see it as see God as being out there somewhere. I see God in the sky. I see God in the birds. I see God in you. I see God in the trees, in the rivers, in the mountains. There can be no ego because once the ego is stripped away, all that is left is God.
It's a pleasant way to look at it.
It's more than a pleasant way to look at it, it's truth. The separation between you and I is an illusion.
He seems to think about that for a bit too.
So, what are your thoughts?
On religion,
Hmm. Or faith?
I believe it can do much good. I can believe it can do great evil if used wrong. Um, I suppose I have a similar view as far as being everywhere. It's too many good things to see that it can't be from something. Um,
It's
I grew up
funny.
in a region that was more Catholic and spattering of Muslims, and it was always interesting. Um,
A lot of fighting.
you know, maybe not so much. Recently, it's become more of an issue.
as I said, failed hero systems because we deny that we're all fated to the same end and that we're all just trying to walk each other home. That's it. That's all this is.
More or less, yeah. I would,
I'm sorry, Heather did not catch that.
more or less, yeah. I think there's a lot to unpack there, as I believe the saying goes.
Yes.
Was there a
Meditation.
lot of fighting where you were from?
Yes and no. There's a lot of ideological warfares. Sometimes it would boil over, sometimes not. I didn't actually have violence committed against me until I moved to the States.
That's unfortunate.
Well, not exactly.
He looks at her curiously.
I awakened.
You spoke of that last night.
I, being murdered in my dorm awakened me.
You were murdered in your school?
Mm-hmm. In my dorm room.
Did they at least catch the person responsible?
No,
Do you know who it was?
I don't know.
How long ago?
About 5 years ago.
Okay. Seems right. What school?
Sanford. It's on the West Coast.
Words again. You have to make a trip out there at some point anyway.
Yeah,
Look into it.
it would be good to see some of my classmates. Laugh about the good old days.
You saying you want to come?
I it would be a lot of fun. I think that I would enjoy seeing the old campus.
Okay. I don't know when, but if you wish to join me on the trip, we can go.
Yeah, if I can actually find someone to cover me.
You don't get vacation?
Oh, I get vacations. I just need to find someone to cover me. This needs to be planned.
Okay. Well, you have time. I'm not sure how long I'll be here, but I'll make a trip eventually, and we can look into that.
Well, well, you have my number now, Alvaro. You can call me and say, "Hey, I'm planning on taking a trip to California at this time. Let's hop a plane and let's go."
I can do that. So, what was it like?
What was what like?
The awakening?
Absolutely terrifying.
He frowns.
It feels almost like someone comes into your bedroom that you don't know. You're fast asleep, and the next thing you know, there's gunfire being let off. This person is jumping up and down on your bed, and then for the rest of your life, you have almost a companion who walks with you.
Last part doesn't sound too bad, but it depends on the companion.
Yes. Um, Mine is almost a beloved lover.
That surely must go against something.
It's not like I'm being intimate with it. No, I'm not being intimate with it.
I would not judge if you were. I'm just saying.
Um,
Would like.
but he pushes me. He pushes me in ways that I could never fathom. Naturally, I'm more of a wallflower, and he's trying to push me to come out of my shell.
You do not seem so closed off.
No, not right now. Whenever I first came here, I don't think I left the wall um, at that gathering, um, except for whenever this Templar
Did
broke that poor friar's nose.
mean like it's the name sounds familiar. Not the same as the Templars and the Crusades.
I'm not entirely sure. I know that they are a Christian sect. Um, I'm not sure if they're choristers. They may be their own little thing.
Hmm.
But I know it was the churches that they forbade us from coming onto on pain of death, for whatever
Sound
that's worth.
sound friendly.
Oh, they sound absolutely fantastic.
Any idea
There's,
how many?
there was only the one. Um, I believe his name was Carl.
It's been how long now? You'd think that'd be
Well,
done
I
with.
haven't. Yeah, I haven't heard hide nor hair. I've been thinking about doing uh Pachar, not on the church property, but near it.
What is that?
Um, Basically, where I stand out there and encourage people to meditate. That's it.
Are you
You know,
allowed to do that here?
hmm?
Are you allowed to do such things here? As far as um,
Well, I'm not doing anything other than, telling people about free food and telling, and trying to encourage, and just, I'm not trying to convert anybody. Literally.
how sincere are you about doing that?
Very. I just haven't been able to poke my head up long enough from my patients' beds.
When you do, let me know. I'll watch.
I
Keep an
would
eye
like
out.
that.
I'd be. They don't sound like good people,
No,
or at
no,
least
they don't.
misguided.
They are misguided. I mean, I did take a look and see at, some of the things that could have been with this Templar. And, um, I mean, it never comes across as anything other than possibilities, and even and vague ones at that. I'm seeing, I mean, I saw him surrounded in flames. He was armed and armored. In another one, he was, just bleeding from numerous cuts, just laid out on the street, like he had fallen in some kind of battle. Um,
You seeing fates?
yes. Um, you know, I'm seeing things like, him being tied to a stone altar with all kinds of carvings on it. Um, but one of them, there was this uh, young woman and a small little boy who were with him, and um, he was hammering and building something. I mean,
You don't mind if I take notes on these things, do you?
no, but I am curious as to why you're taking notes.
Might find a pattern.
Ah, man after my own heart, are you?
I like to consider myself Sherlock Holmes sometimes.
I would
More
not.
facial hair.
Yes, I would not try to go into any of the churches around here for a good long while.
Confession.
Um, there's just, I believe that he believes in what he's doing. I believe that he believes that this is right.
Most salads do. A good bit of the evil people in the world are the heroes of their own story.
Oh, yes. Very, very true.
And you're planning to go in front of this church and
Oh, not in front of it, kind of diagonal to it. I need to actually take a look and see what the laws are.
what would be the purpose in doing it?
To hopefully talk with him.
So you
Everything,
want to draw them out.
yes, everything happened that day so fast.
Do you know if anyone has made contact with them since?
No, I don't know.
What did he say that day?
Just that he was allying himself with forces of darkness, and that he stripped him of his title and stripped him of his church, and, you know, tied him up, threw him on the ground, broke his nose, and then left. Samantha, I think, wheeled out after him. I'm not sure. I kind of had my hands full. I set the bones, and Miranda helped knit it back together.
She stopped talking to do so?
Yes, yes, long enough to do that. Yes, she did.
No, the friar apparently has a nose for trouble.
Yes.
No, that wasn't as funny. I can do better later.
Yeah. I saw him on Samhain, and he seemed to be doing a lot better.
Well, at least no broken nose.
Yes. And he makes some excellent rose water or rose tea. I mean,
Sounds good.
oh, it was. Oh, it was.
I'll have to get some later. Not his, but some other kind. And you want to draw him out and talk to him.
Yes.
Are you worried that's going to make you a target?
I'm not on. I have not violated anything that he said.
Okay.
I mean, it literally was if I step foot on the ground, not if I am across the street.
Okay. Well, when you plan to, like I said, call me. I'll watch. See if anything occurs.
I mean, there's got to be a way to just talk with him.
Are you sure? Considering how far gone he seems?
I don't know what got him to this point.
You think it could be the child and the girl you saw?
Could be. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I don't know if that's his sister and a nephew, a wife and a son.
Doesn't even have to be that close. Sometimes it doesn't take much.
No. No, you're right.
But you see different fates for people? Is it all the time or just when you want?
I actually have to set out to do it.
That's it's better than it being all the time.
No joke. No joke.
All right. Well, there's a lot going on. You said you saw the friar at Samhain?
Yes.
Not familiar with the term.
Um, Halloween.
Oh, okay. I have heard of that. You went to a Halloween party
I did.
and you did not drink.
No, I did not.
I am surprised nothing was spiked.
Well, the friar gave me something that yeah, the friar gave me um I trust that he's not going to give me anything insane.
Well, you should be able to trust a holy man. I mean,
Yes,
there is
especially a
sort of-
holy man that you fixed his nose for him.
Yeah.
One good turn deserves another.
So, no smoking, no drinking.
Right?
There must be a line like that you can skip.
Why should there be a line you can skit?
There usually is one. Catholics have wine. Now, I've heard some things like tea or caffeine.
I will skit that. And I will skit meat.
Okay, well, then I will have to take you for a steak dinner at some point then.
The only
Yes,
thing is that it cannot be halal.
not familiar with.
Um, Halal, it is um, the way that um, Muslims slaughter their animals.
Ah,
They go from the bottom up instead of the top down. It is, we find it cruel.
hmm. Now I guess that would not be the same kosher or similar. I can ask around. I'm sure. If not, find something. Not even a little bit of smoking.
Nope.
What do you do for your? Well, you seem fairly at peace with your job, so no nerves.
No, no nerves.
That's good.
And what about you? Do you get nervous whenever you pick up your sacks?
No, feels right. Calming.
Exactly. Because it's a calling.
One has decidedly more money into it than the other. But I enjoy
You
the
would
$5.
think. You would think. Everyone is so obsessed with the income, nobody bothers to look at the outgo. Oh.
So you're saying you're not well off?
I'm saying that I pay 3 times what most people pay for a house note in student loan debt.
It's and you went. See, well, should have gone to university in Europe.
I probably should have.
Then you would have.
My father encouraged me to go to the States thinking that there was money there, not realizing that I was like, I can't stay here. Not after that.
So you're still paying them off while you're here.
Mm-hmm. I probably will be until I retire.
Well, so about how long would that be then?
Um, they're set up for about 10 years. Um, but you can get extensions. It all just depends. I've seen people take 30 years to pay their student loan off.
It's a very long time to have something hanging over your head.
Yes. You know, but it is what it is. It's the price you got to pay in order to, do something that matters, or at least do something that I know I would not be content doing anything else other than this.
That's fair. So,
Yes.
movie asking, I'm not sure. Age wise,
32.
okay, so you have 60 or 30, 36 years until you can retire.
Mm-hmm.
At least, actually, I'm not sure how that works here.
Yeah, me either.
Looking at that. And you were not settled down.
No. Um, Most of the time, we tend to either go with, marry someone also in the medical field because there's nobody else who can understand the insane schedule. 28-hour shifts.
Ugh, that's a long time for any job.
Yeah, but I get more days off. It's just the first day off you have after a 28-hour shift, all you're doing is sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
That's all.
So this other your companion is the one taking up your time in that field then.
Um, no. Kalis does his own thing.
Oh, I meant the. Is that what he's called?
Oh, no, my avatar.
Yeah.
Yes, my companion. He
See,
never leaves me. Ever.
frustrating.
If he ever did, I would not know what to do with myself.
I'm still not sure if that's good or bad. So, why have you not? You're waiting for a doctor, I assume.
I am waiting for. If it happens, I'll know. I'll look at someone and I'll know. So, what about you? Why know someone special?
When I can sit still,
Still
or
sowing your wild oats, huh?
or someone who will be willing to move with me, or will be okay with me moving.
I can see that. I can see that. I can't really see you being tied down to one location at all.
There's just too much to see.
There is. And you want to see as much God as you possibly can.
I need to go to. Been told Norway is nice. It's not too far off from here.
Hmm.
But the go ahead.
Um, I'm sure Norway is nice. And if it's just like a day's drive or something, I get more than a few days off a week.
You want to go on a trip?
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Is that allowed?
I don't see why not.
Okay. We could take a day trip.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
What do you have holidays, festivals of any sort?
Um, I do. And actually, um, today is one of them.
Really?
Yes. Hmm. It is Guru Nanak's birthday. The first Sikh guru.
And what is it? What does it entail?
Lots of fireworks, food. Um, 550 years. 550 years ago, he was born today.
So that is a spiritual leader of.
Yes, he was the first. He was the first. He was the first teacher.
And what do you do for the festival or the holiday?
What do we do for the festival? It's more, you know, fireworks and food, and we go to Goodwater. Of course, again, it's always about food with us. Always.
Food is good.
Food is very good. Food is very good.
Well, if you like, I can buy some food here. We can go about the city a bit. I can show you what I've seen.
Yes, that sounds lovely.
Okay. Trying to think of anything else before we go into areas we probably shouldn't discuss such things.
Ooh.
Miranda.
Yes, Miranda.
Be careful if you plan to associate more with her.
She is a little scary.
Nothing she mentioned sounded good.
No, I don't care how long she's known him. She believes exactly what she's saying.
That's what was frightening.
Yeah.
Or at least unsettling.
But there's the woman that I knew, and then there's the woman that's standing in front of me. And how she cannot see that in the course of a few weeks, that much of a change. I don't know if something has literally grabbed hold of her mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. She mentioned the points to his teeth. Just normal teeth, but she mentioned that.
I've never had any dealings with these.
I have.
Are they able to completely and totally rework a brain? I mean, do they have some kind of like mind thing that they can do?
I've heard rumors. The one that I dispatched, I don't know if he tried anything or not, but he was, there's a wrongness to it. At least the one I dealt with. It's different than, we spoke of the ghost. There's almost, well, you assume spirits of the dead have regrets, and
right.
There's oftentimes anger, much of it, but never an enjoyment of the state that he was in. But with this thing, it there was just a passion for the state he was in. He was very, like, it was right. And it was very odd, very unsettling.
I mean, intellectually, I find them, of course, thinking I've never had any dealings with these things. I find them curious. I mean, they've completely and totally checked themselves out of the natural life cycle.
It's interesting.
Anything beyond that, I mean, I'm not a fool. I'm not,
Good.
They're
old world habits on my part. I know you're quite smart. But sometimes it is good to be reminded.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, does Amsterdam have very many of these?
They're here. I've not met any that I know of yet.
Neither have I.
Your friend might have more information on that front, though. The one whose place you're staying at.
Yes. I will ask him. He's been here longer than I have. Yes, but what's going on with Miranda is highly unsettling.
I don't know her. It just, from, as you were saying, the outside looking in, it seems like it seems like a rebound into an abusive relationship.
Yeah, because normal relationships are not that healthy. Relationships are not that controlling.
Seems Stockholm.
That's a good word for it.
That is.
That's a very good word for it. Yes, she seems Stockholmed. I mean, I'm in it. I mean, if this is healthy and, I'm happy for her, but this is too much too fast.
That's the impression.
I mean, I don't care if it has been 800 years since, he's taken someone to his bed.
That does not mean he did not take anyone standing or anyway.
Yes.
There's always a
catch.
And being that old, I don't know. I mean, it's her life. I'm just cautioning on your behalf.
Yes, I am not. I was basically trying to keep her from doing something absolutely insane the other night. It didn't really quite work because she, you're not mortal. What?
Well, you can lead a horse to water, but
I thought for sure I thought for sure that they were coming to kidnap her.
That, yeah. Oh. Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, she seemed to be okay. They dropped her off at a graveyard.
I just do not know how wise it would be to look into much with her.
Yes.
You spoke of a cabin and people being incinerated by wards and.
I mean, I'm not saying that, wards are a bad idea. Not by a long stretch. But I don't understand their social structure. I mean, is this individual's name Baron?
Came off more like a title?
It really did. And that to me is just, it boggles my mind.
Well, she said Baron, she said Prince.
And here I thought we had, for the most part, done away with royalty.
Old things. She said at least 800 years. We don't know how long before that he'd taken a woman, so he claims. So.
Oh, yes.
It puts us fairly far back.
Yes, 800 years puts us right smack dab into fiefdoms and all that stuff. It's one of my curses, I guess. I worry about people.
Well, if you decide to delve in with her, just be careful. I don't know where that road leads.
I will.
It's certainly a rocky one, at least.
Yes, for as much of a social butterfly as she is, I almost wonder if she's not in some kind of bizarre mania. But then again, I'm no psychiatrist. What do I know?
You know not to get involved in a relationship right after one.
Yes, and I know not to get involved in a relationship, and modify myself to that extent after a couple of weeks.
So I would say you're fairly ahead of the grade as far as that's concerned. But if you start chiseling on your teeth, I
Oh
will
no,
ask questions.
no, no! No one is chiseling on my teeth.
That's what you need. You need a dentist.
That just boggles my mind. It really does seem entirely one-sided.
Yes, but I don't think I've met the man. Um,
Neither have I, which is why I'm kind of reserving judgment. But it is quite alarming.
but if he is that old, I probably won't have a very good read on him anyway. He's had centuries on me to work out the art of lying.
So how do you read people?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I guess just like anybody else. A hint of cynicism and hope.
Try and suss out who they are.
I guess patterns, ticks. I mean, like I said, I fancy myself Sherlock Holmes. It does not mean I am one.
Yeah, sometimes I almost want Sherlock Holmes was an opioid addict. I almost wonder how in the world he was able to suss out as much as he did.
Good writing.
Yes. And an omniscient narrator.
And he had help, so I did not know how much of that was embezzled.
Yeah. So, dinner?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. What are you in the mood for?
Steak.
A steak.
But we can go for. Can you eat fish?
I certainly can.
How about fish of some sort?
Fish and I'm
Sure
sorry?
how about fish of some sort? I'm sure it's good here.
Yes. Yes, the fishing is going to be great.
Okay. And OC, he'll go about town. I don't know if you have anything you wanted
Yep.
to run in particular, or
Head off to a fish market, to a place that serves fish.
do you have anything else for the scene, or do you want to call it here?
We can call it here. I mean, yeah, we can call it here.
Okay. All right. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Again, this is Nightfall in Amsterdam. Have a good evening.
Yep, you too. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yep, bye.
See ya.